Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Calavera Beach. So, yeah, remember this college we built a while ago? I'm going to destroy it because I don't like it, and I want to build other stuff here. We will build another college with obviously the same storyline this college has somewhere else on the map, but for now, this is gone. We're going to build something else. Alright, so as you can see, we've destroyed the college, and we're starting to place some mansions around here. So, I'm using some mansion assets from the workshop. I'm also using this, modern house, which I think is pretty cool. I haven't really used it before. It's in the Calavera Beach Assets collection in the description. But, yeah, overall here, I'm trying to place some really, they're houses for wealthy people, essentially. And the houses right in the water will be mansions. The houses further away from the water will be very, very nice houses, decent square footage, but not exactly mansions. So the area I'm basing this off is in northern Laguna Beach. It's a gated community. I'm not going to make this a gated community until further notice. I don't know. I don't really want to cut it off from the rest of the city. I will build other gated communities, though. But the idea with this is really high-value real estate right on the water. And these houses are so expensive, they even have their own private beaches, which we're going to work on in a little bit. So I had a lot of trouble trying to make these cliffs work because the cliffs look a little bit weird. I'm using the cliff assets by Avania, and I believe they're by Avania, and they look really good. You just have to use them right, and you have to use the vanilla bushes from Park Life to make them look really good. And I figured that out only midway through the episode, and after this episode, the cliffs look awesome. We've got a cool private beach in there. It looks great, but I struggled a lot in the episode until then. Right now here, what you can see I'm doing is I'm placing some other houses which aren't necessarily huge mansions, but they are very, very expensive houses in this neighborhood. On a hill, they've got a view.
Town in this less than fashionable cubbyhole of the San Francisco Examiner, these editors are programming today's copy of the paper into that same Ohio computer. When the telephone connection between these two terminals is made, the newest form of electronic journalism lights up Mr.
So a lot of these houses you see won't be detailed in this episode. The main focus of this episode is going to be the private beach area, which we're going to start really working on in a minute or two. But right now I'm just preemptively placing the houses that I'm going to detail next episode. Like, all of these houses you see right here, are going to be individually detailed next episode. I'm going to detail this area a lot more than I detail most areas in the city, because it's going to be a main focus, this neighborhood. And yeah, you'll see this next episode, all the detail. For now, it's going to remain undetailed, so the cinematics might look a little bit barren, but it is going to be detailed next episode. This episode, once again, just want to focus on the mansions by the water and the private beaches that I'm going to make, which are just going to look so cool. It's been requested a lot that I build beaches with steps down to them, like from really high up on the cliffs, and I'm going to do that. Alright, so we're almost finished placing these houses here, and we're about to start the core of the episode, which is just so cool. You're gonna see me struggle for a while trying to get the cliffs to look right, but I finally do, and when I do, it turns out to be one of my best builds I've really ever done. So let's get straight into it.
Ponca City, Blackwell area, 68 degrees today. Winds southerly at about 15 with gusts of 25 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation. We're about a half-inch behind, a half-inch ahead for the year, and 1 53/100ths behind for the year so far. We'll be looking for a little bit of a change tomorrow, and of course the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing showing up on the radar. However, the satellite photo was pretty interesting for the western half of the U.S. Rain showers and thunder showers along that frontal system, and that wide band of fairly heavy snows. Now, what will happen each time that you see the frontal system on there? That begins at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll see the cloud pattern move until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So as of that time, of course, the front was way off in the northwest. Now, however, it's moving into the central part of the nation with a couple of high-pressure cells behind it. And a few pockets of low pressure and a fairly heavy band of rain showers and snow all the way from the eastern portions of Montana.
All right, we're working on the cliffs here. So initially, I'm just struggling like crazy here. I try to actually, delete the cliff assets and try to just use the default, cliff texture from the Springwood theme, which is great. But the problem is the actual cliffs themselves are not that detailed in terms of depth and stuff. So that's why you use the cliff assets. It looks way better. So I end up placing the cliff assets back. And you see I'm placing these stairs here, where this person who owns this mansion can just walk right down to their own private beach. And I add like retaining walls around it and stuff. It looks really cool. It all comes together in the end and just looks just so cool. This is one of my favorite builds I've ever done, so yeah, hopefully y'all like the cinematics at the end. Sorry for saying y'all. I mentioned in this, I just got finished recording a New Windsor, or doing a New Windsor stream, rather, and I realized that I say y'all more than Southerners say y'all, and I've only been to the South like once.
Yeah.
Are you finished, Mr. Slade?
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Alright, so here you can see the beach is really coming together. The cliffs are really coming together, and the way I got them to work is I used a combination of a bunch of different rocks. So I'm using the breakwater rocks that Strict Toaster made, I'm using the river rocks that Ronix made, and I'm using the new coastal rocks that Ronix made, just to integrate everything together and transition between the, you know, tall cliffs and the beach itself a lot more smoothly, and it looks so good. It's not perfect by any means, but I think it's better than, you know, anything I've done before in terms of cliffs. And you see I'm using these vanilla bush clusters from the Park Life DLC here for the cliffs. What these do is they make the cliffs nice and vegetated, and I mean around, you know, Laguna Beach and, you know, the area around there, the cliffs are often very, very vegetated. They're right by the coast. They get more rain than other areas, and you know, you got to add vegetation to the cliffs. It's just I've been struggling to figure out how to do that until now. Now I've really started using these vanilla bush clusters, and it looks really good. So if you're building a project like this, definitely try that. So remember how I talked in a New Windsor video about how I wanted to start a third project? So I've been considering when to start it, and I want to wait a little while until I get my 2-episode-a-week workflow going very well, and then I'll probably start a third project. I don't want to get overly ambitious, but it's going to be sort of something that I don't think was actually suggested once. It was sort of based on a couple of different suggestions combined, and that's what I've sort of come up with for what I want to do for the third project. I'm not going to, you know, tell you what it's going to be, but it'll be cool, and it won't be in the near future, so don't get too excited for it, but it is coming in the next little while, whatever that means. I'm planning it, and just like I planned this series for a long time before I even started the map. Alright, so we're almost at the end of the episode. What's going to happen now is we're going to finish this little property we're working on right here, where this person's got a relatively small house compared to their lot size, and for some reason decided to just make a big lawn with the rest of it, whatever. And we're going to start working on a second private beach, sort of like the first one we worked on earlier in the episode. Obviously, it should be a little bit more efficient, because now I know what I'm doing. So making these mansions is a little bit repetitive, and I've been meaning to use these mansion assets for a while, but the grass they come with is really annoying and dark, and it doesn't fit the texture that I use. So I decided to use the ploppable grass by Ronix to cover the grass that is used in those mansions in the actual assets, and it looks a lot better. So yeah, each one of them is detailed differently, but all of them are detailed pretty similarly, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. We're gonna be adding a lot more of these as time goes on, because obviously Calavera Beach is a very, very sought after place, and you're gonna have loads and loads of mansions which people want to move into, and we will build actual gated communities and stuff later on in the series, but for now this one is not gated. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed the episode. Next episode, we're going to detail all those houses we placed at the beginning of the episode and never detailed, and that should be a lot of fun as well. Loads of Google Earth and stuff for that. But yeah, it's about the end of this episode, so hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Leave a like on the video. It really does help out a ton. Subscribe if you're new around here. By the time this video goes up, we'll almost definitely be at 20,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. I've never hit a milestone like that on any channel I've had, and that's just insane. So thank you all so much. If you want to support me, or you want the next episode of Calavera Beach right now, you can support me on Patreon. Essentially, you can just give me part of a coffee every month, and episodes come out early for you. So right now, the next episode of Calavera Beach, where we detail all those houses we placed, is out for patrons right now. So check that out if you're a patron. And yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those are both in the description as well. Very useful stuff over there. Hopefully you all enjoyed. These cinematics are absolutely crazy. I'll see you next time.